Hi friends, welcome to Konexio Technical Insights. I am Rahul Randeria and I would be conducting today's show. Today we would be discussing regarding the trends, the setups, the technical indicators, the candlestick patterns on Nifty, Bank Nifty, as well as on the different asset classes. Now, first of all, let us discuss what you have mentioned in our last video. In our last video, we mentioned that the undertone of the market is bullish, but on the daily charts, RSI has tested the level of 80 and it has entered into overbought territory. So there might be a sideways to consolidation phase or some sort of profit booking cannot be ruled out. So initially and last week was a truncated week. So initially for 2 or 3 days, the market rallied, and then on Friday we have seen that there was a sharp sell-off from the second half of our day, and Nifty and Bank Nifty ended on a negative note. So yes, definitely we were expecting some sort of profit booking since last 2 to 3 weeks, but market kept going step by step, inching higher levels for the target of 18,000. And the 18,000 mark was already tested in Nifty futures, and it was just short of 18,000 in the Nifty spot. This particular target we have been mentioning from the levels of 15,500, and we had an expectation that 18,000 could be tested in September or October. But as we have seen and as we have discussed in our videos, that this particular rally from 15,200 till 18,000 has been a classical example of a faster retracement. We have seen that the downfall, it took more time, but the recovery was faster than the fall. So it was the classical example of the faster retracement. And yes, the markets are into a time correction. And as of now, the undertone of the market is still bullish, uh, and we might see extension of the rally after this particular correction is over. So now let us go to the Nifty daily charts, and we'll try to figure out what could be the trend for the next week. So let us go to the Nifty daily charts. This is the Nifty daily charts, and we have been discussing regarding from this level from October 2021 till date as a time correction. But now let me just stretch the charts so we can have a clear view. Now here I will draw a parallel channel so that now we can see this. This is the parallel channel. Market has been moving in this channel, making high tops, high bottoms. You can see RSI was 80 uh, till Thursday, and on Friday we have seen a sharp correction. Now you can see, as I'm stretching the charts, Nifty had already given up the gain of the last 3 trading sessions prior to Friday. So you can see 1, 2, and 3 days, and then a fall on Friday. It is an engulfing bearish pattern. RSI has given a cut over here, so a further correction cannot be ruled out. Markets are into overbought territory, but yes, if we go to the weekly charts, so you will have a clear view that you can see weekly charts also had tested this particular upward resistance trend line, and it has corrected. And if we go to monthly charts, so we will have a view that the monthly chart is getting stronger and stronger. Last 2 months has been on the strong note, and looking at this monthly chart, we feel that Nifty has potential to test its lifetime high, that is 18,604. This was the high made on 1st October, almost maybe in the month of October. So Nifty has potential to test the levels of its all-time high, which is 18,604. But as of now, looking at this daily chart, some sort of profit booking cannot be ruled out. And looking at this particular pattern, we feel that Nifty has potential to test the levels of maybe 17,450 on the downside, and from there we might see the next leg of upside rally to be continued in the foreseeable future or in the coming weeks. So now let us discuss the important supports and resistance in the Nifty for the next week. So the important support in the Nifty for the next week is placed at 17,597 is the first support. Then second support is placed at 17,444 and third support is placed at 17,348. So these are the important support levels in the Nifty for the next week. On the upside, the first resistance is placed at 17,852. Above that, second resistance is placed at 17,992, which is the swing high of Friday, and third resistance is at 18,095. So these are the important supports and resistance level in the Nifty. Traders should try to follow these levels, watch out this level closely, and then trade in the direction. So as of now, looking at this pattern, we feel that next week could be a sell on rallies or some sort of profit booking cannot be ruled out from on pullbacks. I mean to say on the bounce back. So one needs to wait for some pullback and then try to go short at the higher levels with a stop loss of 18,000, which is the psychological one. Just about puts a stop loss about 18,000 for a target of maybe 17,450. But again, I would like to say the primary trend is positive. So after this particular correction, one should try to build long position at the lower levels. So now let us discuss what we have observed in Bank Nifty. So let me go to the chart of the Bank Nifty. On Bank Nifty daily charts, you can see here same thing. It has given a breakout of this particular falling trend line, which we have been discussing since long period of time. This was the trend line. It has given a breakout and it is trading way above those particular breakout levels. But the most important thing is that RSI. RSI after entering into overbought region here and engulfing bearish pattern on the daily charts. Again here in Bank Nifty also you can see 3 days of rise and 1 days of this particular fall. So 3 days of rise was given up in a single day. So again now let me delete this line and let me draw a parallel channel so that we will have a clear view regarding. Now here we can see that Bank Nifty also has been moving in this particular rising channel, making higher tops, higher bottoms, and RSI from the overbought region, it has given a sell signal, engulfing bearish. So most probably three things are coming together: overbought setup, engulfing bearish pattern, as well as RSI giving a negative crossover from the top in the overbought region, which indicates that a further sell off or a further pull off, a profit booking cannot be ruled out from this level. So most probably Bank Nifty might drift down to the levels of maybe 38,280, which is the gap area, or maybe if we take a round figure, the Bank Nifty might test the levels of 38,000, which is almost coming to around this particular support zone of the rising channel. So again, the strategy in Bank Nifty also remains to be intact. Sell on release at least just for next week. But as I said, the primary trend is positive, and Bank Nifty has also a potential of testing its all-time high, which is just almost near 42,000. The all-time high was around 41,829. So that target still remains intact, but as of now, some sort of pull-off cannot be ruled out. So now let us discuss the important supports and resistance level in the Bank Nifty. So in the Bank Nifty, the important support is placed at 38,748 is the first support. Second support is placed at 38,402 and third support is placed at 38,155. On the upside, the first resistance is placed at 39,291, then 39,759, which is the swing high of the last week, and the third resistance is above 40,000, which is 40,160. So these are the important supports and resistance level in Bank Nifty. Traders should follow this or try to watch out these important levels and then trade accordingly in the direction of the primary trend. So looking at the Nifty daily charts and Bank Nifty daily charts, it is clearly visible that the setup was overbought. It is an engulfing bearish pattern on both the indices. RSI has given a negative signal in overbought region in both the indices. So three things are coming together. So we might see profit booking coming in for the next week. So now let us come to the third segment of our show, which is option analysis. In option analysis, we'll try to figure out what we have observed looking at the option data of Nifty calls and puts, open interest, implied volatility, volumes, and we'll try to figure out where could this particular correction might take a pause, or if there is a counter rally or a pullback rally where both the indices might face the resistance. So you will see on the screen the data of Nifty calls. In Nifty calls, the action was seen in you will see 17,800 calls. Then about that 17,900 calls, 18,000 calls, and 18,200 calls. Now here you can see there has been rise in volumes, rise in the open interest, implied volatility is in comfort zone. It is just between 11.60 to 12.84. But the most important thing is that there was strong call writing. See, you can see the significant drop in the option premium. So which clearly indicates that on Friday, the option writers were far more active on the higher side. So which is clearly indicating that the market might remain under pressure at least for the next week. And on the downs, whereas on the upside, the major resistance would be maybe 17,900 to 18,000, which is the psychological. Now let us observe Nifty puts. You will see on the screen in Nifty puts the action was seen in 17,600 puts, 17,500 puts, 17,400 puts, 17,300 puts, as well as 17,200 puts. Now here also you can see there has been a rise in the open interest, rise in the volumes, implied volatility is at the high. I mean to say it is just between you can see 17.52 and 18.57. So these are the data what we have been observing on Nifty put side. Now here you can see that on the sharp sell-off on Friday, the option premium has also increased, which indicates that smart money might have started buying puts. And on the downside, we feel that Nifty might take, looking at this data, we feel that 17,400 to 17,300 might act as a strong support in the Nifty for the next week. So as we have seen that there was a strong call writing seen in Nifty out of the money calls, which clearly indicates that upside is kept in Nifty at least for the next week. And looking at this, that the smart money might have started buying Nifty puts because the IVs are also rising, option premium is also rising, and implied volatility is option open interest is also rising. So which clearly indicates that further downside cannot be ruled out from these levels, and Nifty might take support around 17,400 to 17,300. Now let us discuss what we have observed in Bank Nifty calls. In Bank Nifty calls, the action was seen in 39,200 calls, then 39,500 calls, and 40,000 calls. And even some sort of highest open interest was witnessed in 40,500 calls. Now here you can see there has been rise in the open interest, volume are also high, but there has been a significant drop in the option premium. You can see the percentage. Implied volatility is between 15.11 to 16.47. But here it clearly indicates that the smart money might have done strong call writing. I mean to say strong out of the money calls writing. So on the upside, we feel that 39,500 could act as a very strong resistance on the upside for the next week. So upside could be kept in Bank Nifty, and from here, looking at this data, we feel that downside or further sell-off cannot be ruled out. Now let us discuss what we have optioned in Bank Nifty puts. You will see on the screen the action was seen in 38,800 puts, 38,500 puts, then 38,000 puts. Now here also you can see there has been rise in the open interest, rise in the volumes, implied volatility is high. It is between 19.97 to 20.59. I mean, implied volatility is also rising, and option premium is also rising. So again, looking at the sharp sell-off of Friday clearly indicates that smart money had started buying. I mean to say, started buying puts, and at least they are expecting Bank Nifty to drift towards the level of 38,500 to 38,200 or maybe 38,000. So next week we feel that 38,000 could be the strong support in Bank Nifty. So we might see a sharp sell-off on bounce. If there is a pullback, then selling at the higher levels could again emerge. So those who are long in Nifty and Bank Nifty should try to exit at the higher levels, or those who want to take face position in Nifty and Bank Nifty can try to go short at the higher levels for a downside target of maybe 1.5% in the next week. But as I said, looking at the overall chart pattern, the primary trend is still intact. Nifty and Bank Nifty has potential to test its lifetime high in maybe a couple of weeks, maybe 4 to 6 weeks. So definitely next week markets might remain under pressure, and after maybe a sizable correction of 1% or 1.5%, traders or swing traders can start buying in Nifty and Bank Nifty for an upside extension of upside rally. So overall, the trend remains intact. Next week, some sort of pull off cannot be ruled out. So now let us come to the final segment of our show, which is positional call. I've identified one stock from textile industry. The name of the stock is Vardhaman's Textile. The stock has corrected significantly from its lifetime high. It is into oversold region. You can see that some sort of buying was also seen in this particular stock. The stock has almost corrected from its peak of 577, and it has almost seen more than 50 to 55% of correction from its lifetime high. So if I put a horizontal trend line, you will see some sort of a cup and handle breakout from these levels. This could be a trend reversal in the stock in Vardhaman Textile. You can see the price volume action. The stock has reversed. Volume are also rising. The prices are also rising from the oversold region. RSI is also into positive territory in the comfortable zone. But as I said, this call is specifically for investors, those who are or those who want to invest for long term. So definitely investors can accumulate the stock on dips. The current market price of the stock is 334. So I would recommend investors, swing traders, and positional investors to buy the stock on dips to 323 for an upside target of 402 for long-term investment. So maybe in next couple of months, maybe 10 months, 12 months, the stock has potential to test the levels of 402. And for swing traders, the stock has those who want to take a call for this extension of rally or a pullback rally from these levels. Swing traders and positional traders can buy the stock on dips for an upside target of maybe 360 to 365. But for long-term investors, the stock has potential to test the levels of 402. So investors can accumulate the stock on dips to 323 for a long-term investment of 402. So thank you very much, friends, for watching the show. Any suggestion you can give in the comment box, and have a nice trading week. Thank you.